1.
3, 2, 1. And it is November 2nd, 2021. We're creeping up Premier Pro Wrestling, PPW as a company, on Fully Charged this Saturday night, Chicagoland, Woodstock, Illinois. Casey, what's on tap?
Well, Fully Charged, yeah, that's November the 6th, Saturday night.
Yeah.
You're live in Woodstock. We have a couple big matches. We have Sensei, the American Ninja Warrior, defending his PPW Heavyweight Championship against Tim Castle. 2 out of 3 falls.
Now stop right there. You just got to see these two. These two are coming along like no one's business. They're developing faster pace than Jungle fucking Boy.
Yeah, I don't know how fast Jungle Boy is. No, that should be a tremendous
No, they look the part.
matchup.
Their skills are unsurpassed.
Yeah, so for the Heavyweight Championship, we'll also have the tag team titles will be on the line. Poncho, Mr. Wrestling, and his partner, Mr. Electricity, Chase Gosling, defend their gold against the former champions, Jose Acosta and Ventura, the number 1 contenders. They lost it last month at Dominance.
Mm-hmm.
They look to win them back this Saturday night.
No, the difference between Dominance and this week, Lulu Lorena, I haven't heard if she's going to be there or not. Same thing with IRTs, was very instrumental.
So those are the 2 wild cards in this match.
And the champs. So we'll see who shows
Lulu
up.
Be there? Will IRTs be there?
And what part will they play in this matchup?
That is being underlooked at the moment. I'm glad you brought that up, Randy. That
once in a while, I can put 2 thoughts together.
Every once in a while, a squirrel finds his nut. Also,
the sun shines on a dog's ass.
You haven't seen a ray of sunlight in fucking years.
I got vitamin D deficiency even.
Also, we have Psycho Spawn taking on Not Bad Chad in singles action. Should be a tremendous matchup.
Not Bad Chad, the most resourceful guy on the roster. If this was baseball, and I don't think it's a problem anymore because you still watch baseball. Do you remember your guys that could play any fucking position?
The utility guy.
That's Chad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they have the utility guys today?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I just remember I used to love our Chicago Cubbies utility guys when I was a kid.
Man.
Yeah, switch hit, whatever. You know?
Tall task at hand. Psycho Spawn. Chad's probably giving a good 100 pounds, maybe a foot.
I didn't say he was smart.
Uphill battle.
I said he was a good utility guy. I didn't say he was a brain surgeon.
I'm interested to see. It's going to be it's a clash of styles.
I am too.
The big man versus, power, strength. Chad, the technical wrestler, speed, high flying.
Creativity.
Very interesting matchup.
His moveset, his holds, they're all creative in the way he gets in and out of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
also, the team of Jesse Danger and Charlie Hustle will go in a handicap match. Will square off against Marcus the Science Smith, 0-1 and 0-2.
No, Tokyo Joe and 0-1.
And Nagasaki Nick.
No, Tokyo Joe and 0-1. You got to learn when to be funny and when not to be.
Well, you're not teaching that class.
If you listen to me once in a while.
Tokyo Joe, just call him that. That's hilarious.
I never said it was hilarious. I said it's better.
Well,
but anyway, that's going to be, they're going to have their hands full because it is a handicap situation. 3 men on 2 men. Let's see what Marcus
and I'll have to give a tip of the cap to Marcus the Science Smith.
Tip of the cap. I like that.
Him and 0-1 Tokyo Joseph gave Jose Acosta and Ventura a run for their money this past week here at PPW 373.
You're right. Outstanding planning.
374, excuse me.
Dude,
yes.
Outstanding planning. You're absolutely right.
Considering that was the first time they teamed, so I'd like to see what he's going to do with the second half of the Orient Express.
Marcus Smith was funny because he wrote them into that feeling of confidence.
Lulled them into a false sense of security.
Totally. And then pulls out the rug and ba-boom.
Old bamboozle, the old banana in the tailpipe. Got bamboozled. Almost, but the number 1 contenders were victorious.
Yeah, those 2 kids are amazing.
The tag team scene here in PPW's really been heating up as of late.
Tag team wrestling matters.
Jesse Danger and Charlie Hustle have been nipping at the heels of Jose Acosta and Ventura and Poncho and Mr. Electricity Chase Gosling. They definitely want to throw their hat into the ring, into the mix of the tag team title situation. I expect more from them this coming month after Fully Charged. But this Saturday night, PPW Woodstock, Fully Charged, the PPW heavyweight title. Tim Castle and the American Ninja Warrior Sensei do battle. Also the tag team championship gold on the line as Poncho and Mr. Electricity Chase Gosling take on the challenge of the former champions and number one contenders, Jose Acosta and Ventura. We have that singles match with Not Bad Chad, Psycho Spawn, and the handicap match between Jesse Danger, Charlie Hustle, Marcus the Science Smith, Tokyo Joe, and 02. Plus, more matches, all this Saturday night, live in Woodstock. Can't wait.
Yep. And like I said before, I'll say it again until it becomes habit, we're Chicagoland.
And don't
you can
forget,
tell by how the ads are performing with the word Chicagoland on them, because we are.
And in case you don't get a chance to catch
We're
the
as
podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but mostly on Facebook. And catch us on Patreon.
Patreon. Support us on Patreon. Now, back to what I was saying before in regards to our location. We are as far from Chicago as is the Sears Center. Exactly. Minute-wise, all that stuff. Yeah. And when AEW comes there, they call it Chicago. Even though it's Hoffman State, South Barrington, you know. Chicagoland is just, wow. You know,
I think we're even more of an ideal spot because we're even we're closer than downtown to northern, you know, Boone County, Winnebago County, southern Wisconsin. Yeah. So if you're in Janesville, Beloit, Rockford, Belvedere, you're just a stone's throw away from PPW.
Funner,
wetter, faster, funner.
Hot
wrestling, hot live pro wrestling every Saturday night here in Woodstock.
No. So,
but Patreon, you got to catch us on Patreon. The archive, it's second to none. If you're a fan of pro wrestling, archived wrestling.
So much on
all our shows here at Premiere, plus the
all
podcast,
the tapings here. Yeah, so much content, unbelievable. What I think people appreciate the most that I see in our live attendance, but also some of the people that comment and like and all that stuff. I think people are getting off on watching these guys develop for match one. Like your sensei, look at how far he's come in 3 years. You know?
Like I said, if you're a fan of old school wrestling, Premier Pro Wrestling is the perfect hybrid blend of modern wrestling.
Make sure you say that, because people like to
done the right way.
Deem me as being stuck in the 80s.
No,
and all that
absolutely
shit.
not.
Absolutely not. And you're one that, like, and I'm not saying this to be a prick or nothing, but sometimes I'll throw something at you and you go, what? And I'll go, trust me, I've been watching this, I've been paying attention to that. That's how we bring that story into 2021.
Absolutely.
You know. So I want to ask you this. We always talk about wrestling entertainment. We always talk about WWE. Why? Why do you think we talk about that?
Well, I mean, they're the standard bearer. They're the gold standard in pro wrestling. They have been, probably always will be.
They set the pace. And also the fact that I've got, experience there, and you were on their payroll for 5 years, So we're going to talk about that, but what I want to talk about is this. So I'm not trying to dash anybody's dreams or fantasies, but when I worked at TNA Wrestling, there was a time where at first the fans clamor for a wrestling alternative. WWE has its own brand, and its brand isn't necessarily wrestling. It is, but there's so much more. You know what I mean? There's so many different styles of wrestling fan today, So I saw you guys get behind it, and I saw you guys get behind it so much that as production manager, we were, I think we were an average 1.1 or 1.2 rating on Spike, which was fucking huge at the time. And then I saw Dixie Carter and her people kill it off, and you guys were the ones that ultimately paid the price, meaning the fans, the viewers. I see 10 times that with AEW right now, as far as your guys' hopes go. Now, the reason we talk about WWE also is because of this fact. When I was working at TNA Wrestling and the ratings were high, 2006 and 7, we were getting $75,000 per hour from the network. When I look at the deal that Tony Khan had, industry standards looks to be about $110,000, and that's to produce the whole program per hour. based upon what the contract is, okay? Let me spell this out for you, and this has been a while. How long do you think it's been since Dog the Bounty Hunter was relevant? I mean prominent, not relevant, prominent.
10 years?
Now, 10 years ago, Dog the Bounty Hunter, by networks, by what the hell was he on? History or A&E?
Something like that.
Personally, he was getting $125,000 per episode. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you got to put that in perspective. When you see that tone of $450 million for 4 years, it's not that much fucking money. That's, about what Dog the Bounty Hunter was making 10 years ago per episode. Luke Williams of the Bushwhackers, who just doesn't get enough credit and is not known for his creative prowess and business mind, without intent, without meaning to, spelled it out for me a week ago. He wasn't making comparisons. He just said, mate, look at the kind of money WWE is making. Then he cited a couple of things, a couple of deals, and I can't remember what exact deals, and I don't want to go into it, and I don't think people really want to have the exact deets on it, but he's talking about billions of dollars, okay? Do you know how much $1 billion is versus $1 million?
Quite a bit more.
Yeah, it's 100 times more, or 1,000 times more?
I think it's, let me think, 100 million, 200 million, you know what, I think it's 100 million. Okay, it's 100, you're right. No, it's not 100 million. It's 1,000 million, because people get $100 million. Yeah, so it's 1,000 times more. Okay, you're setting yourselves up for disappointment. And Tony Khan out there and Chris Jericho out there saying all this stuff, setting themselves up for failure. Stop talking about World Wrestling Entertainment. Stop overpaying guys that are way past their prime, and invest in the company. Invest in people that you can get over, and invest in people that can teach them how to get over. CM Punk and the big deal with CM Punk and Punk's your pal. He's my pal, but he's your pal. You guys are the same age, or around the same age, right? Yeah.
And you guys talk, but when you talk, you don't even talk about this industry. You just talk about Chicago sports mostly, I think. Mm-hmm. So the point I'm trying to make is, we heard all that. Guess what? It's been 6 weeks. What the fuck have you heard since? That's Tony Khan. He don't know what to do with a CM Punk. Mm. If CM Punk had signed with Vince, believe me, you folks would all, you would know about CM Punk, and so would the mainstream, particularly Twitter. Now, your little hopes are dashed, because most of your hopes is, the ratings. I'll let you on a little secret, and maybe someone can explain it to me in the description bar, but Vince doesn't really care about the ratings. Yes, the ratings are important. Yes, he cares about the ratings. What he cares about is trending, and consistently trending on Twitter. That's where the value is today. AEW does, they have a dash of it, but they don't dominate Twitter like Vince does on Monday nights. And they're so far off from doing that on whatever night they're on television. So it's not realistic. So the first thing I like to do as we dip out, and we're going to cut it here, because from here on out, we're going to put the rest on Patreon. Like Casey said, subscribe to our Patreon, where you get content, but you also get this podcast. Disagree with me, be pissed off at me, agree with me, fill in the blanks. If you got good information, give it to me, give it to us, and we'll
feel free to email us. We'll field your
or message.
Questions. Yeah.
What they do is they message on YouTube. They'll message on these teasers, and that's where it comes from.
We'll answer.
Yeah. So we're gonna cut in 3. Like I snuck it in 3, 2, 1. What I want to read to you now.